Welcome to the Green River in the heart of Utah, where we'll be paddling through some of the most spectacular canyons in the world. My family has joined me for the journey, and they'll be paddling along in canoes.
The Green River is located in the USA and flows through the states of Wyoming, Colorado, and Utah. Our 120-mile journey takes us right to the end of the river, through the canyons of Utah. From our starting point at Crystal Geyser, the Green River flows alongside the Colorado River before meeting at the confluence of both rivers, our destination. Leaving our home in Sydney, Australia, the family flies to Los Angeles in California before taking the family road trip across to Moab in Utah.
I found out long ago.
I'd like to introduce my mother, Donna Lou, father, Mark, my sister, Amy, and her partner, Robert, who will be sharing this journey with me. Once we arrive in Moab, we pick up the gear and supplies and catch the shuttle bus with our driver Michael to the starting point at Crystal Geyser. Upon reaching Crystal Geyser, the excitement kicked in as we prepared for our 120-mile paddle along the Green River. Get ready for one amazing adventure. Michael wished us luck as we set off on our way downstream. As we hit the river, we realised it had quite a flow.
The Green River was just perfect to paddle because the flow was just so steady and you could just go for miles. You wouldn't even have to paddle at all. You could relax. And of course I was on the camera a lot. It was good because Mark was at the back and he didn't have to really struggle with paddling.
Paddling was very easy, which made it so much more enjoyable. You know, it was just great, too easy.
I really remember when we first got in the boats and after being told how calm and quiet the river would be, paddling straight into the rapids with the fully loaded boats was a bit of a classic.
The rapids are few and far between on the Green River, and when they come, they're fun.
Even with the steady flow throughout the whole entire paddle, Rob had an idea in mind to bring something else along next time. You know, to help with the paddling.
Outboard motor would have been nice.
That would have been good, wouldn't it?
During the entire paddle, we rarely saw any other people on the river. However, when we did, it was really nice to see some smiling faces, brought together by the love of paddling.
The people we met on the way were just all outdoors adventure types. They were just and really open, easygoing, just like-minded people.
There was a lady and she had 2 dogs with her.
Oh, Denise with the dogs. She was awesome. Like there she was out in the middle of nowhere with the 2 dogs. They were old dogs and she loved them and looked after them and lifted them up onto the boat. And yeah, she'd camp by herself in the middle of nowhere, didn't faze her at all.
We later found out that Denise is a writer who has just started on her first novel.
Yeah, that's why I went on the writer's retreat. It was also a rafting trip.
Yep.
And it did inspire me, but I've been writing.
And where Denise had set up her campsite, there were some fascinating inscriptions on the rock wall dating back to 1909 when the boat Launch Marguerite travelled between the towns of Moab and Green River.
We did meet a big guy in a blow-up raft, huge blow-up raft, and he had cans of beer and he had his iPod and music, and he was super friendly with his father, who was also canoeing down the river in a solo kayak.
But most of them had been every year for the last 6 or 7 years. It was like their annual place they go to on holidays. And I don't think you could do that river too many times. I think you could just, as they do it every year. And there's always something different to see. Fantastic people, soul of the earth people.
What's a river trip without a good old family sing-song?
I'm almost heaven, western Utah, Red Rocks Mountain, shining green river.
I hear the voice in the morning, how it calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Paddling down the river.
I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
Oh, country road.
Take me home to the place I belong.
But we weren't going home just yet, because with every new day, it brought us some divine scenery.
Just the scenery is amazing. It's out of this world, like nothing you've ever seen before, unless you live in Utah. But it was really cool.
The scenery, I reckon, is definitely pretty spectacular, very hard to beat.
The view was incredible. You felt like you were in an old Western movie. Yeah! It was fantastic, and in the distance you could hear the coyotes howling and
The contrast in the red rocks and the blue skies, and then the storms coming over, that sort of scenery was pretty spectacular. The sunsets too, when it was sort of in such deep valleys, was quite spectacular.
Very happy with the scenery, very happy. Great place to do photography. Absolutely brilliant.
And here's the girls, showing off their fancy pants dance.
The weather was just absolutely stunning. It was blue skies, hot days, cool water.
the backdrop was just perfect and the beautiful red rock. We really jagged the weather. Couldn't ask for better weather. It was awesome.
We had a bit of everything, didn't we? Had a few real stinking hot days.
It was very hot on the river. We had sunblock, hats, long sleeve clothes, swam in the river multiple times in the day. It was very hot.
It was great to jump off into the water. The water was nice and cold.
The water was nice, but it did take a few pairs of sunglasses.
They're long gone. No! It's freezing.
And Robert, well, he thought it was still too hot.
Maybe a bit more of a gazebo type deal might have been nice. Get when it was real stinking hot.
Try and get against the canyon walls where the bit of shade was, and the difference in the temperature was incredible. Like out in the sun, it was scorching, but as soon as you got in the shade of those canyon walls, beautiful. You could just stay there all day.
The weather did start to turn, and with it came the wind. Your best friend and worst enemy on a stand-up paddleboard. Worst enemy, best friend. And then came the cold and the rain.
A couple of storms on the way, which was, sort of stirred things up a little bit.
and we've woken up to a bit of a cloudy day above us with possible warnings for flash flooding. We're getting a light sprinkle of rain at the moment, so we're packing up camp nice and early, heading down river for a few miles and setting up camp on a nice high riverbank.
They really do make good raincoats. Like, they're cheap, they're tough, disposable, biodegradable. Only problem is your sleeves get wet.
I got little legs, arms.
Then that big storm that blew across brought the river right up.
Oh, the storm was fantastic. Really scary because we had to get to a camp at before dark. Thought we were going to be camping in the boats for the night, tied up to the shore, but we just made it in time.
Setting up the tent in the rain and running away from the rain.
And the lightning, because we had the carbon fibre paddles, you know, you're thinking, oh, the lightning, let's get out of here. But no, it was good. Added a bit of tension.
So just found our island for tonight. We're going to set up camp out of the mud, of course. And tomorrow we're going to climb the saddle of Beau Nixon. Hopefully it'll be an amazing view.
First day of camp, we pulled the tent out of the bag. Little 2-man lightweight hiking tent only needs 1 pole, except we forgot the pole. So a little bit of makeshift tent putting up was in order. Paddles from the canoe and a few stray sticks and a bit of bitty cord here and there worked wonders.
Camping on the islands I really liked. That was really pretty cool, I thought.
While we weren't paddling, we were laying back.
Oh, we played lots of games. We had some card games. We had Yahtzee. And we had a game called Farkle, which was where you rolled dice, which got the family laughing a lot.
Lots of just fun family games.
Throwing the line in, having a bit of a fish every now and then, all that sort of stuff.
I hate touching him, so Rob's going to do it. Got up early this morning. I'm going to climb up to the top of the saddle at Bowen Nixon. It feels really good to get off the water, onto the land, for a bit of a hike.
Beau Nixon was extra spectacular because you could see both sides of the river.
And easy climb. I mean, it's just a little rock pile that you've got to scramble up.
That wasn't as hard as what I thought. Like, it was a long way up there, but it was pretty easy going.
We'll be wearing pants in our socks when we go. We'll be wearing pants in our socks when we go.
We'll be wearing pants in our socks.
Wearing pants in our socks.
Wearing pants in our socks as we go.
And then once we got up there, the view was just magnificent, just fantastic.
We've climbed up to the saddle of Beau Nixon. In actual fact, it's only 600 feet across the saddle from one side of the river to the other. However, we have to paddle 7 miles right around for us to get to the other side. No wonder it's called Beau Nixon here in the depths of Labyrinth Canyon.
You could actually see where you're coming down and then where you're going to come past the next day.
It would be a lot easier just to walk over the ridge, but we done the 6-hour paddle.
Along with the Bowen Bend walk, there are plentiful options for hikes along the river. We decided on another 2 hikes. One, which took us up to an ancient meteorite site called Upheaval Dome. Previous hikers create trail markings called cairns. These rocks stacked on top of one another came in handy when we were trying to find our way.
Walking up the riverbed was really impressive as well. I quite like that.
The crater walk was really hard. It was a really hot day. We should have probably packed a bit more water.
As we drew closer to the centre of the dome, the echoes between the canyon walls became more distinct, and we couldn't help but try it out.
Yeah, my hands are done. Now my feet and hands hurt. I'm standing in the middle of Upheaval Dome. It's incredible to think that millions of years ago, a meteorite hit here on Earth. The crater it has left behind is simply amazing. We've woken up to quite a cool morning here on the Green River, so we've decided to take a walk up to the Masonry Tower, which commands Fort Bottom.
The Masonry Tower is a rock structure that was built around 750 years ago by Azenazi Indians. It is unsure what it was exactly used for. However, there are many similar structures in the surrounding area, which suggests that it was used as a signalling beacon between the tribes. Below the tower was previously farmland, and a lone farming cabin stands on the banks of the river. A pretty cool sight to check out. But all this hiking, it took it out of us. Rob began working on his core strength. While I started my own mud skating arena.
Find my baby, gonna hold her tight, gonna grab some afternoon delight. When everything's a little clearer in the light of day, and you know the night's gonna be here anyway. Working up an appetite, looking forward to a little afternoon delight.
Right on top.
So together make the sparks ignite. And for the lovely it's getting so exciting. Sky rockets in sight. Woo! Afternoon delight. Ooh. Afternoon delight. Afternoon delight.
The daily chore was to collect firewood in order to light the fire and cook our meals.
Ah, the food.
The food was acceptable, I guess.
The food along the way was really, you can make it what you want. You just go shopping, do a big bulk buy.
A lot of organising. You know, have food last for 10 days between 5 people.
We opted for no esky, so there was no perishable foods.
We had lots of pancakes.
I remember lots of pancakes.
I remember a few pancakes getting around.
Pancakes were probably, you know, hot on the list.
Pancakes or pancakes and more pancakes.
But I guess that's the nature of 10 days with no shops.
A lot of dry stuff, a lot of rice.
I remember really enjoying some salami with the rice. That was really good that day.
We had lots of wraps with peanut butter and jam. And we had some dried fruit, beef jerky.
You know, lots of nuts and trail mixes and things like that, lots of that. It was good not to have the hassle of, you know, perishables going off, and because you don't want waste out there. You don't want to be throwing away stuff because it just puts a footprint on the environment. So what you take in, you either eat or you take out.
I did end up looking forward to the old pancakes of a morning. It was good.
Probably the only thing that wasn't good was the blueberry pancakes. I wouldn't suggest eating the blueberry pancakes.
Look forward to busting out the blueberry pack as opposed to just buttermilk.
Robert's the best little pancake maker in town.
Water is quite scarce out here in the desert. We've brought enough water with us for 10 days, but in case something goes wrong, we've brought along a water filter. Now this bottle on my left here, just taken out of the river, and this one here has been left to sit overnight. As you can see, all the silt down the bottom has rested, so we're going to try out our water filter to fill up our drinking bottles. So once all that's connected, we just have to pump through the water. As you can see already, that water's a lot clearer. So it looks as though our filter's working. After a couple of minutes of pumping, our water bottle's nearly full and ready to drink. And the difference is amazing.
Thoughts on the groover?
Oh, the groover. Oh, the groover. Oh, the groover.
In case you were wondering.
Necessary, but quite disgusting.
It's a necessary evil. It's a shame.
Oh, the groover wasn't a worry to me. Like, yeah, just put it out in the wilderness somewhere and just admire the view.
It's got to be done. Environmental reasons.
Just the thought of it made you quease. And Rob, he wanted nothing to do with it.
Well, I just figured I'd just push it as far as I could, and if I had to use it I would, but just managed to get lucky, I guess, finding the old public loos along the way, just in the nick of time sometimes. But it's face that unpleasantness or deal with the guaranteed unpleasantness of the groover.
Our groover was not the nicest on the nose.
Use groover tamer.
We've never heard of groover tamer.
That's what we could have taken, some bloomin' blue disinfectant gunk would have been nice. I think we got gypped there.
We didn't have any groover tamer, which we found out halfway through the trip that groover tamer is the way to go. So it keeps the smells down.
I was told by the river guys that this is what you need.
Yeah, okay.
It really it breaks down the stinky stuff.
Luckily, we weren't the ones that had to carry the groover in the canoe. Just hold your breath. The best technique.
My technique was paper down, do your business, pick the paper up, undo the groover really quick, throw it in, shut it up. So you get the same result, but just a different technique.
So we've made it to the confluence of the Colorado and Green Rivers. It's a little bit sad to think that our journey is nearing an end. We're going to go find a campsite for tonight and get the jet boat pickup tomorrow morning.
The jet boat pickup took us back up the Colorado River and into Moab, and the journey upstream gave us some time to reflect on the paddle and how good it has really been spending all of that quality time as a family.
I love the place. Oh, it was really fantastic. Just being in the middle of nowhere, and we always camped by ourselves. There was no one else on an island with us. You just felt like you were out amongst it with nature. It was just fantastic.
It was probably one of the best trips I've ever done. I just loved the river, the reflections. Just being out there was just totally awesome. It's a great way to get close to your family. It's a great way to spend time with your family.
Just spending that good quality family time. All being together and having a laugh, and so easy. It was great.
Yeah, it was very good. You get your own inside jokes going by about day 3 and your own songs and family things like that.
But just getting to spend 10 days out camping with a nice group of people as well is pretty hard to pass up. I guess a lot of people don't get to go on those sort of experiences.
It was just unreal. It was just so awesome just to have everyone there on the trip. Like, how often does that happen?
We've reached the end of our 120-mile paddle along the Green River, and even through the heat, the cold, the wind and the rain, it was an epic adventure. I truly believe that the camera does not capture the full experience, so get yourselves down to Utah and immerse yourself in the river culture. But before you do, head to donotfollow.com.au for more information on the Green River paddle. My name's Beau Nixon, thank you for watching, we'll see you guys next time.
Do not follow. Just don't follow.
Do not follow.
Do not follow.
Thank you.
.com.org.
Now let's get out of here. So
Do not follow. Do not follow.
Do not follow.
Do not follow.
Do not follow.
Do not follow.
Do not follow.
do not fall off. No. Do not follow.